great to be in first place in the standings. I don't think we've played to our capability, and some of that is, not playing to our capability, and some of that's a function of how beat up we've been on the position player side. But I'm hopeful that this week, by the end of the week, everybody will be able to take a breath and say, wow, most of our team is finally back, and let's step on the gas and go get it. So happy with where we are, not satisfied with where we are.
Chris, there's beat writers over there that cover the Mariners day in and day out, on the road, at home, and they see Justin Hollander, and they make jokes because he enjoys being with the media, and you can see it in the look in his eyes. But they always say he's got a sports coat on when he comes over because that's one thing he's always going to throw on. He wants to make sure he looks good and presentable.
I appreciate him. I listened to yesterday's interview, and it's done. He's like, anybody else got any other questions?
Man.
Anybody? I mean, he's there. If you got a question about the Mariners, ask him. And like I said, I can't give him enough praise for saying, hey, we've got to be better when it comes to communicating with these pitchers. Whether that was his fault or not, he's the leader, one of the leaders of that team, and he said, you know what, I got to do better. So I'm giving a lot of praise for what's going on right now. There's been a lot of injuries. They're dealing with it. They're in first place. He's not happy with where they're at. So I've been happy with him.
Yeah, well, listen, selfishly, and as members of the media, when you have an executive or even a player that enjoys talking to you and knows we're not there to attack you, it makes it a lot easier, a lot more fun to talk to guys like that. And the informative interview again with Justin Hollander, who likes to get out there every time the Mariners come home just to update everybody. So we appreciate that. He was addressing the M's injury list, and it is extensive. Talking about extensive? Let's go to our guy doing extensive research. Buckle up.
They call him Triple D, Paul. Dusty's Deep Dive. No, he's not a world wrestler. It's Dusty Baker. And Dusty, with the Mariners' injuries and the trade deadline nearing, it seems the trade rumors are starting to heat up with this Mariners team a little bit.
Yeah, guys. I mean, when you have this many injuries, and I think we got to take a look at some of those injuries once again, because it's kind of remarkable just how many injuries were announced yesterday, as you guys had mentioned. You look at there, Arozarena, Raley, Naylor, Donovan, of course, the extent differing. Arozarena going down is a huge ordeal, arguably the most consistent hitter for this lineup. You look at the pitching side of things, there are a lot of question marks here, specifically in that bullpen. Brash going down, you have Criswell, Vargas, all of them being told that they probably will not be back until the deadline. So yes, Chris, naturally that means we're talking trade deadline talk. So I figured I'd give you guys 5 players potentially, or at least groups of players, you'll see what I mean in a sec, that could at least be an impact or talks of being a trade target. So let's go with it, guys. Starting out, first of all, with a reliever, because I think the Mariners at the end of the day need to address this first. What do you guys think of Antonio Senzatela? 2.29 ERA, a 104 whip, his fastball velocity up to 97.3 miles per hour, guys. He has been super effective with the Rockies.
I've got no problems with it. I'll be honest with you, Dusty. I think that would be a nice arm to bring in there. What do you got to give up to get him? I don't think you're going to give up a whole lot to get that. And they need depth in the bullpen right now.
Listen, if you're Senzatela, you're taking a pack of gum and maybe a deflatable ball or anything like that to get out of Colorado. That poor Rockies organization and their fans especially, have been patient. So I think anytime you have a chance to go from a losing team to a winning team and potential to win a lot of games in the postseason, I think you jump at it. So for his sake, man, you got to get out of there.
Yeah, guys, and talking about that pitching at Coors Field and having that ERA, that is pretty impressive. So definitely, I think, should be the #1 target for the Mariners. We're going to go in order of most likely to least likely, and I feel like that is the most likely. Next on the list is a group of individuals, and we're going to be seeing them shortly this weekend. This might be our scouting report weekend. I'm looking at Wilson Contreras and Jarren Duran, 2 different roles. Wilson Contreras could be a DH for this squad. Duran has just struggled mightily in Boston, might need a change of scenery. And on the other end, you have Aroldis Chapman, who has been dominating closing. And Garrett Whitlock, I mean, you could talk about bringing both of those guys in, a righty and a lefty, and they could be back-end killers in this bullpen, guys.
You want Chapman?
I don't know. He comes with baggage.
Yeah. It does come with baggage.
That's a thing, and in this town, I don't think fans would appreciate that. His ERA is impressive, but again, Chris, I mean, you look at Munoz and the fact that will he come around? Will he hit the stretch run? I don't know if you go get a closer, and then what do you do with him? Stick him in the 8th inning? It's like, I'm not quite sure we're there yet.
And that's why I go back to Senzatela, your first one there. I think this is a team that is going nowhere. They're not going to be in the hunt at all, Paul. That seems to me like the Rockies would be somebody you could do some business with.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that, guys. Also, he has a club option in 2027, so there is some control there with Senzatella. You have Chapman that goes through his year 40 in the MLB, so there are some question marks there. As for another team I want to identify, that would be the San Francisco Giants. Guys, these are only offensive pieces I'm looking at. You could go through the list here. Luis Arraez, Jung-Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman, Casey Schmidt. Out of these four that are really appealing, Jung-Hoo Lee comes with the largest contract, but if you look at how he's, at least at this time, putting bat to ball, he is getting consistent hits. He's been among the top 5 hitters in the league over the last month. You talk about a guy that could lead off for you, possibly getting guys on base, which the Mariners have struggled with. That is a huge addition, but it would come at a cost. If you want a cheaper price, Luis Arraez can play the field. He also can play multiple positions and DH for you.
I like Lee, but I think it goes back to where we started with this is, where do we see Arozarena and Raley? If they're only going to be out 10 days, that outfield is packed. It's tight. You're fighting for playing time. Delman Canzone right now is one of the hottest hitters on this team.
Sure.
So, if there's issues with Arozarena or Raley, then sure, I think that's a great go after an outfielder. But if those two are healthy, then I think we're stacked in the outfield.
Yeah, I think availability too, man. Look at these guys and see how many games they're playing, because one thing the Mariners can't afford to do is pick up one of these guys and have them fall over. So you got to have guys that are available day in and day out, because the Mariners are struggling right now with injuries. Someone you can count on. You talk about all the time, consistency. So we'll see what happens there. But your next name has everybody really interested.
Yeah, it does, guys. I think you talk about the big bat that is, at least at this time, accessible. A team, of course, that is going to be selling at the deadline, the Minnesota Twins, and Byron Buxton has been a mainstay there. I want you to look at that slash line, specifically a .601 slugging percentage. He ranks 3rd in the MLB in 23 home runs this year. He is an 18.9 barrel rate this year. That's a 98th percentile. He's getting the ball, of course, getting the bat around on the ball. This is a guy that you could put in the heart of the lineup. DH, you play the field as well. This would be not a long shot, but you'd have to give up some pieces, guys, to acquire him.
You're going to have to give up one of your starting pitchers and possibly one of those young guns, I think. I don't want to give up either of those
Yeah, if you're the Twins, you're jumping at that for sure. Take us to Skubal, man, because I don't like this at all, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think many of us want to see this happen. I think this has been thrown around a lot. Jeff Passan has reported that the Mariners should go after him. If you want my firm belief, I don't see the reason why you need to address pitching when the lineup is really the main concern, in my opinion, and also now the bullpen, right? So this is probably the least of their issues. But yes, Skubal has been, of course, been at least a target listed. I don't know what you guys think, guys, but for me, I'm out on this one.
Well, I'll just say this. I'll try to defend Skubal. If you want to win the World Series, having somebody like Skubal will help you get there.
That's the argument. That is the argument.
I'll just throw that out there.
No, I totally agree. No one's arguing this guy's talent. It's what you're going to give up for to the Tigers.
It's the cost.
Yeah, what's the cost of bringing him here?
No.
So, sure, another ace, throw him out there.
Look at that Brady. He's got his Super Bowl rings. Look at the Mariners. We don't got any rings.
The problem's the offense, guys. Yeah. The problem's the offense. Yeah. You pull up the numbers. The Mariners rank right in the middle of the league right now in all the offensive categories. I do not love that. Of course, you've had injuries. They need to address the offense, and now they need to deal with the bullpen injuries. That's the problem.
Dusty, I'll say this. Yes, the offense needs to get better, but we saw the return of Cal Raleigh. J.P. Crawford's coming back. We heard from Justin Hollander right at the beginning of this segment, once all these pieces start coming together, I see those numbers going up.
Yeah, that's huge. And hopefully they will, and you got to get healthy, guys. That's the most important thing right now. But trade deadline's looming, guys. August the 3rd. It's not that far away.
No, I like it. Listen, that was a tremendous segment. Dusty deep dive, man. He's like going into, dude, I loved it. I love the fact all these little scenarios, all these available players.
He should be sponsored by a deep dish pizza company.
Bring it here, man. I'll take that. I'll take that any day.
I don't know if that's we need a catchy nickname for you, buddy. Something a next level.
Triple D.
I don't have enough nicknames, guys.
I'm not sure that would work, Chris, but
no, I'll take it.
That's good for the show, but I think you just realized that it's not. Hey, Dusty, that was awesome, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll take my deep dish pizza, guys.